Everybody want to come in late.
Sparring's pre-show, baby.
Yeah.
I was telling you about this the other day. We was talking about a little bit how this chick was on social media, right? She was talking and bragging and flamboasting about how, oh, well, I haven't paid, because people are talking about how the rent prices are crazy lately, right? And how even my sister-in-law was telling me recently, like rent went up like $300. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so this chick was on social media and she was talking about how, oh, well, I'm on Section 8, and so I've been paying the same thing for the last 15 years. And I'm like, yo, like, that's just whack. You know what I mean? You should only pay a couple $100 because I guess it's part of, a percentage of your income or whatever the case might be. So she's paying super small bread. And it's one of the chicks, she's walking around with LV bags and she got a convertible outside. All these kind of different things, you know what I mean? But
what you hating?
I think it's corny, man.
What's so corny about it?
At all. It's about holding people accountable for how they're living their life. Like, yo, you don't need to be on Section 8 for 30 years. Be like, what are you teaching your children? What are you teaching? How are you helping anybody around you trying to grow and prosper and be better? You're not helping nobody with that kind of attitude.
I mean, listen, some people get over. They use that Section 8 and they're actually doing bigger and better things. I actually have a friend, matter of fact, and for years, her and her boyfriend, they never got married. And I used to be like, damn, like y'all got a couple kids together and whatnot. He's a police officer. And I'm like, damn, like, how come y'all ain't never got married? And so she was just telling me, rent prices here in Massachusetts is just crazy. We both live around the same area, Wildwood, Mattapan, Dorchester, like border area at that time. And so, and I know like the house that I lived in was a piece of trash, but it goes for like 500,000. And so she was just telling me basically like, they haven't married because of the simple fact that she's on Section 8 and he went out and bought a house. And so she stays in that house and acts as a tenant. And that money that she's actually getting, the money from, whatever it is, the Section 8 is actually paying his rent. And so that's their way of, paying for the house, which affords him now to, whatever money he makes being a police officer, he can either add on to the house or, that's their trips and stuff like that. I mean, I can't be mad at people that use those loopholes to kind of, do better.
I think that's a little bit different, right? There's one thing if you're both the landlord and the tenant. That's one thing, right? And that's not necessarily what I'm talking about. What frustrates me. What frustrates me is the chick who's getting Section 8 because she has a child, right?
Yeah.
And okay, yeah, she got, she's paying a percentage of her income towards the rent. Cool, I understand, whatever. No, whatever. But then, like I used to work with a chick, right? And this chick used to say, "Oh, yo, I can't work more than 20 hours this week," right?
Yeah.
And we'd be like, "Yo, well, like, what's that about?" And she was like, "Oh, yeah, because I'm not trying to fuck up my Section 8." What are you talking about? So rather than you trying to develop yourself, put a couple of dollars in the bank, you know what I mean? Build some savings and go buy your own joint. She said, no, I'm not going to work 20 hours. I'm going to keep little 20 so I can keep my little apartment. Come on. You're not showing no growth. You're not showing no maturity. You're not showing no self-development.
Sure.
That's what I don't like. And you were telling me, like, nah, well, that's just people getting over. Nah, that's just her being lazy. You can work for 40 hours, but you don't have a disability. This is not that. You just don't want to contribute. And really would rather just live their life off of government assistance, which I think is bullshit. Word, okay? Salute Payne and Maine and Hightower. They couldn't be here right now, but it's a handicap. It's exactly what it is. It's you rather take the short way out. You know what I mean? Rather than putting in the extra work like everybody else is. I think it's corny, man.
I'm not gonna be mad. She got that Louis. She got that Louis bag and Louis belt. I don't have that. You know,
That's the shit that's
I
disgusting.
can't afford it.
We have to hold our communities accountable, man, for trying to be better. Trying to be like I can understand if you on the shit for a couple of years, you got a newborn, you literally got to be home. You know what I mean to get to be with the baby. I get all that, and I'm here for that. Tisha, know what's up with you, Queen? I understand that, and that makes sense to me. You know what I mean? Hey, daycare's only open till 1 o'clock. Oh shit, I
Yeah,
get it.
but
You got to
yeah,
be
but
home.
there's some people on Section 8 that are paying. That's paying like in the thousands, like 1,200, even more than that. I mean, Section 8. It's a portion of your money of whatever you do make.
It's a portion of your income, correct?
Yeah.
But so when is the time that we end up getting off of things like that? When
When
is
they
it?
start, when people start to realize that when you're still paying $1,500 for rent on Section 8, that it makes no sense. You know, I'm not going to be mad at them people making that's paying $300. Shit, $300 is nothing. But I mean that's like. But I think it's stupid to be on Section 8 if you're paying $1,500 or more. Like, no, you could be throwing that towards a house or something.
I guess it's not about that to me. It's just about I always want to see people strive and go for more. I always want to see that. You know what? One thing that hurts me is when I see somebody who lived in the hood for 40 years and they lived in the
What's
same
wrong with
house.
that?
They live in the same house their mother lived in for 40 years.
I
You're
wish
not
I could do
trying.
that.
You're not trying to grow financially. Real estate in the United States of America is the fastest way towards generational wealth.
Yeah,
It's a
true.
fact. It's a
No,
fact.
that is.
And so the only way you get involved with real estate is to buy a house. That's the start of the conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, for guys like me, where I was blessed where my grandmother was like, she loved buying houses. Let's just say it that way. Like she was here for house buying. You know what I mean? And so what that does is every generation thereafter, first off, you understand the importance of buying a house because you got somebody who did that before, right? And you see the ways that it benefited the family. You know, your family is much like mine. You know what I mean? Like grandma's house was a safe haven. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? For
Mm-hmm.
for the uncle who was fucking up, for the other uncle who had fighting with his wife and had to go somewhere. Grandma had that house that was a safe haven for you to go to, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why can't we all try to strive to put ourselves in a real estate position where we have something? You know what I mean? Too many black folks just settling for, oh well, yeah, I'm paying $200 so I can spend the rest on sneakers and nah, man, nah, you're not helping your generation at all.
Well, that's a tough one. Not a lot of black people actually have family that actually had things or were able to show you how to do these things and had a house or something like that. My grandmother in South Carolina had a house. But I don't live in South Carolina. I'm here in Massachusetts. Massachusetts, my grandmother and grandfather here, it was either Section 8 or they lived in apartments. So me growing up, I didn't learn about all that stuff. You know,
Yeah, but 2022. See, here's the thing with black people, and maybe I'm guilty of it too on some of the levels. We can't keep using ignorance as an answer for shit, right? We can't keep saying, "Oh, I didn't know." Yeah, you did. We all know by now. This is different. This ain't the 70s or the 80s where there was hiding a lot of shit and we didn't know. We know what it is now. Like I said, we know what generational wealth can come from with real estate. We know that now. We know
mm,
all it takes is for niggas to go have develop a credit score, keep it, and put a couple dollars aside. We know that. And so this is why I say for the people using Section 8, that's cool. Pay $200 a month for your rent. Put the rest aside with a game plan to say, I'm gonna buy a house in 5 years. That's
mm-hmm.
how you do it. That's how you play the game. That's how you win the game. Win the game by having your kid take over that same apartment and that same Section 8 voucher 20 years from now. That's not a victory. You know what I
No,
mean? I'm
I
wrong when
get
I
it.
turn up on stuff like that. So yeah, I turned up on that chick.
And she probably laughed at you, gave you the middle finger, and showed you her Louis belt and said, "Man, move on."
Yeah, so she did.
Nah, probably. Uh, Other than that, how was the weekend? What was the week like? I mean, you in transition right now. I mean, you got the Jaylen Brown going. You know,
Don't do that, little. Don't do that. What are we doing right now, bro? What are we doing?
uh,
Come on, man.
matter of fact, we play tonight.
Who's we?
The Celtics.
I don't give a
I
fuck.
mean, you was born here, so you're a Celtic regardless.
Definitely not. Fuck them Celtics.
Yeah.
One thing I will tell you is that as I go through this transition right now, like apartment life is for the fucking birds, bro. I hate this shit. I hate not being able to be in my own space. I can't yell. I can't do nothing. Like, man, what up, God? Payne, what up, God? Oh shit, the whole family.
Oh shit! It's like the Brady Bunch just popping in all of a sudden. Everybody's box is starting to pop in.
Here's a story.
I know, right?
Hey Chuck.
What up? Talk to me, God.
First of all, Chuck Little, how you brothers doing?
Spectacular, brother.
Chuck, what's going on? I mean, I don't mean to start off like coming and taking shots, but is that a flat top you got?
So
you got the Jaylen Brown going.
I don't mean to come in to start taking shots. Here's a shot. Yeah, you know, I'm in transition, B. I mean, you know, a lot of things is a little wavy. It's a little weird around here.
You had dreads the last time I saw you, and that was just a week ago. Like,
yeah, I know, right?
You had dreads last time I saw you, bro. Like, what is happening here, Doc? Yo, sis, if you're on, what's going on with my brother? What are you? Is he trying different looks for you? Y'all, role playing was a few episodes ago. So, now I got it. Now I got it. My boys role playing going on here.
No, is that the front door to your apartment?
So it's the house. It's the house party role play tonight, huh?
That's
I love it. I'm feeling that. I like that.
Yo, hold on. Y'all ain't gonna come in here with this kind of energy, man. Fuck y'all.
Just I'm like, role play was a few weeks ago, but I'm like, okay, makes sense.
Shit, that's hilarious.
I love it.
Yeah, no, this apartment shit's for the birds, bro. Like, I can't. Like, people upstairs is fucking over me.
Jesus.
Yeah, like,
oh.
Dude is a screamer. I'm like, yo, you gotta relax.
Yeah, dude is screaming.
Wow.
You gotta relax.
Yo.
It's awful, dog. It's awful.
Man. Well,
yeah.
Listen, big things are coming. Big things are coming soon, brother. So, you know, it's little patience.
Yeah, I'll be heading down there. The end of this month. So I'll catch up with you.
Hey, I love it.
Oh, NC?
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, I'm here for that.
Closer now, much closer than Florida. So
facts,
those trips are much easier to make than Florida.
Hey, man.
And he's been to Biscuitville down there. So now he's getting real Southern food. You know, unlike Florida. I mean, it is the South, but they don't really give you the Southern that Southern taste in Florida.
Let me just tell you, once I discovered Biscuitville,
okay,
this is a monumental change.
Wait, Kamani looks kind of perplexed. What's wrong with Kamani?
What the fuck is Biscuitville?
Oh, it's heaven. It's the gates of heaven.
Damn. In the South, I bet though. In the South, it's just different down there. Only thing you ain't gonna get is Chinese food. You still gonna have to come up here for Chinese food.
Yeah,
you get that. But everything else,
pizza ain't the same down there.
Oh, yeah.
It's not.
That too. Pizza ain't the same.
It's not terrible. It's not terrible.
It's not terrible, but it ain't
that Chinese
here in New York.
Yeah, New York is like top notch.
Look where you comparing it to. You said New York. That's one of the top.
Real quick before we get into the show, right? Y'all discussed flights, and that just jogged my memory for a letter I had saved up. I just wanted to put that out there.
Oh shit!
We got 11.
Listen, I tell you what. In the next half an hour, don't be surprised if you hear that. When you hear that letter from Payne, you already know what it is. Until then.
Yo, don't that white, no muzzle. Sparring Minds live every Friday. Let's go. Look, it's Sparring Minds. If you don't know the name, look us up. You know it's all facts when you got Chef Maine cooking up a couple of brothers who know all about the struggle. Black excellence. You know we just work hard and hustle. Whenever you want that urban talk, you know we keep it real. Mr. Maritime on the mic. Yeah, you know the deal is real life. Hotel High Tower bringing you the feel. DJ Payne keep it 100. Matter of fact, keep it a mill. Let's go. Let's go.
Salute to the God. Hotel High Tower. He's out once again because he's dealing with a little bit of an illness. So salute to the God. But what I will say is sometimes we got to get that dude the fuck out of here. It seems like every week we tune into the show, there's a different High Tower adventure in terms of his travel. This is another real life. This is a real life story, a real shit story, right? High Tower called me up the other day. He was down in Miami for business, and we were just chit chatting about, I don't know what we were talking about, honestly. And he said, "Oh," and so I hear a fucking doorbell in the background. Now I said, "Yo, yeah, I thought you was on the road. What the fuck was going on?" He said, "Yeah, hold on." He went to the door, talked to somebody from room service, sent them on the way, and came back to the phone. I said, "Wait a minute, Aunt. Is there a doorbell in your hotel room?"
Nah, he must have been at the Airbnb.
He's at a fucking he was at some fucking Ritz Carlton with a doorbell.
In South Beach.
Man, come on, man.
In South Beach, in South Beach.
Every week these stories get more and more crazy.
It's like that. Yeah, it's like that, man. Listen, that Puma stuff, man. Listen, he told us about 7 years ago how Puma was about to take off before it happened. Legit, the first mancation. He told us how, this is who's gonna be getting contracts. This NBA guy, like he literally predicted how it was gonna happen, and I'll be damned if that shit didn't happen exactly the way he said. At least 7 to 8 years ago, that's a true story right there. So I mean,
and you know there's about to be a big name free agent soon with Nike not extending Kyrie.
Yeah.
Oh, that could get big.
Speaking of Nike, Payne, I know that listen, we don't often do a lot of sneakerhead stuff on this show. I think we should do more of it.
This is Payne's.
There's some huge controversy going on with StockX, bro.
Ooh, yeah. I'm pissed because I bought a pair of sneakers off of StockX 2 years ago, so I want to go get it authenticated at Nike now.
Explain to me the controversy though.
Yeah.
So I guess Nike had someone from the company buy a pair of sneakers off of StockX, and when
I was about to say it was more than that.
They authenticated them themselves. Them shits was fake.
Yeah.
So StockX is a reseller. So they almost do like a consignment thing. I think like if I buy a pair of sneakers, I can put it on StockX and they'll put it out there for me and sell it. So I could fuck around and make the sneaker myself.
Yeah.
Old Canal Street shit. Buy the material and stitch them together myself, or paint it, or whatever I want to do, and pass it off on StockX. If they're not authenticating it right, like they say they do, someone gonna get got.
Yeah, I was loving some of those memes that they were putting out. I think someone had a meme that said y'all thought y'all were getting dunks, but instead y'all were getting layups.
Uh-huh.
I was like, man,
Yo, that's a good one. I like that.
Yeah, man.
I guess the question I have is this, because I'm not a sneakerhead. So my question is why is everybody using StockX again as opposed to just buying from Nike?
Because these damn resellers, man, they had those bots, and Nike put a kibosh because people have been getting through. I know I've been getting through a lot lately. So people had these bots. So the resellers would have these robots or computers hooked up to go on the site and bid on them when there were raffles or sitting them up. And they would get all of them before the consumers could. So a sneaker that would be $200, they get like 20 pair and they sell them all for $5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
it's like what happened with the Xbox and the PlayStation. When
Yep.
I see.
Damn boosters.
And so now you get to that point, StockX is selling everything for $500-600, but oops, it's also fake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Crazy.
That's insane.
I feel
That's,
bad
that's-
if I got for like them Travis Scotts or them Dior's. Them are going for cheap.
ooh.
Yo, them Dior's, I wanted them, and I seen that price. I said, nah, never in my lifetime.
That's
I'm-
why
I'm
my
not buying
sneaker.
That's too
Yeah,
much.
I'm all set with that, man.
So
Nah, them Dior's were nice though.
does the StockX stand by their product? What's StockX's opinion on what's happening?
You know what?
They've been pretty quiet, right?
Yeah, they have. I haven't heard anything. You know, and everybody on the trains, they're tucking in them green tags.
Jesus.
Well, for the y'all don't know, those sneakers, they come with the StockX green tag on the side. You know, everybody hangs them off the shoe just to, you know, let people know that's where they got it from. You know, it's a big fad up here.
And now it might not even count for that no more.
Yeah,
Nah,
Doesn't even matter.
That's a crazy case. Hey man, that's why I go to get my sneakers direct from the supplier, B.
Oh yeah, I'm long over the. I'm never standing in lines. I don't care to do raffles. Like I'm absolutely not on it like that. I like what I like as far as sneakers. I had my run as far as when that was like big to me, but that's so far below the totem pole. I'm good. I got the essentials.
I think coming out of Dorchester High, I grew out of that sneaker thing. Like I like sneakers, but I grew out of the whole, I got to be in line. I got to be down at Crystal's early in the morning. I think the last time I went and actually even sat in a line, I think I went and got the Jason Kids. I think that was the last time. That's when Rodman came out with the worm and they had them sneakers that zipped up and all that. That was the last time. That was way back.
See, so the lines don't really happen much anymore that I know of. Like, there's more raffles and shit. I'll do the raffles. My thing with sneakers is, and I tell this story all the time. The summer, I think it was my freshman year. My pops bought me a pair of sneakers for the summer. I ran through them bitches in 2 weeks. He was like, "Oh, I think money grow on trees. You gonna rock them until you go back to school." Dog, by August, my feet was coming through the bottom of the motherfuckers. That's why I take care of my shits. And then, like, bro, like, you know, we're all from the hood. Your parents can't really afford those sneakers that you want at the time, so you might have missed out on them. That's been my whole thing. Like, whatever ones I missed out on, I'm gonna buy those, and if I like them, I'm gonna buy them now. So, like, I'm heavy into them, but I ain't standing in no damn line.
Oh, Payne, we've been to your crib, brother. We know you're heavy on sneakers, brother. I mean, like heavy's like an understatement. You're actually being modest right now, okay? Like, when you can push the button on your bed and the bed pops up like this, and then all under it is just like all sneakers. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, guys.
Yo, man, I thought you was bullshit. I really did think you was bullshit when you first said that because you was there he had a party at the crib.
Yep.
And you was there for that. And you came back. You're like, Chuck, you ain't gonna believe it. I said, nigga, you on drugs, right? I said, cool. I ain't believing nothing you saying.
All right.
We went to Payne's house recently when I was up in town. And he said, yo, Chuck, you know, come check out, you know, some room in the back, right? This is what he did. Come check out the view from this room, right? I said, okay, it sounds weird, but I'll go for it. So we went to some random room, right? I was like, wait a minute, Payne, like, this is your bedroom, right? Like, I don't see the walls of sneakers over here. He's like, oh, yeah, but don't mind those. Here's the kicker, right? He hit the button on the bed. The shit said,
hello, Kamani. Which pair do you want today?
here's George Jetson. I said, what the hell? Yo, this is some space age. It was the most space age shit I ever seen in my life, dog. The shit moved on its own. LED lights came on. I said, what's going on?
Listen, man. Listen.
Nigga, that shit was incredible. But salute to Payne for having this.
Yeah.
Word up.
I just hope 50% of that shit's real. Based on today's, you never know what's happening out there now. So,
see, and that's why Payne is the reason why I won't do a sneaker bracket because Payne will win that shit. Like even though I think I'm pretty good, like I'm like I ain't giving.
Because there's hood classics that we all know. You know what I mean? Like, so I think it'll come out pretty even on that.
I don't know. I mean, it'll happen
I
down
mean,
the line for sure.
it'll definitely happen. It'll definitely happen. I won't run from the
It,
challenge. So
it definitely will.
I
The
know.
greatest sneaker of all time.
I know we all from Boston, but Adidas better not win that.
Nothing.
Shelto's in the top 3.
Yo, the only Adidas I think I've ever cared about were the Adidas with the sock. That was the only.
Dope too.
Yeah, equipments. Yeah.
The equipments. Those are the only.
Those are dope too.
So definitely top 10s. If we're talking about Adidas, definitely top 10s.
Yum,
definitely equipments. Definitely Stan Smiths.
Yum.
And maybe Shell Toes.
Shell Toes in the top. Shell Toes over Stan Smiths.
Shelltoes are trash.
We forgetting about Yum Yums. The power phases was the shit.
The black,
I
all
remember
black joints.
All black or all white. You have both. I mean,
or
Adidas sneaker bracket, man.
Or Adidas cleats. What are Adidas cleats?
The cleats.
The red, the blue, the black joints.
How wild a time when we was wearing cleats. I remember that.
Yo, that shit's crazy. You walking in school, it sounds like a bunch of horses walking through the hallways.
Yeah. What's going on here?
Didn't play an ounce of football in those days. Are you kidding me? Like I'm stepping in school with these, okay? This is not I'm going to a football game. No way.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
You know what? Adidas sneaker bracket, it is. We just gonna put it out there.
Yeah.
We're doing sneakers.
I'm with it. I'm with it, man.
For sure. We're doing sneakers.
Yeah. I mean, you still got the Pippins, you got the Barclays, the original Barclays, the original C Webs from Nike.
And you got the pennies.
That's so much.
Don't forget the pennies.
The pennies.
Yeah, I'm here for the sneaker bracket.
Sneaker bracket for sure. Sneaker bracket for sure.
There was a spectacular.
Don't be mad when I throw my lottos up there. With the ones with the rip off.
Those are ill though too. Those are classic. Those are classic.
Every day you get up, got a new color on, throw a new lotto sign on there.
Yeah,
but
he was winning. But
we know how voting can be sometimes. So
yeah.
As we saw.
So make sure you put LA Gear up there. They definitely will get to the second round.
Those Karl Malone joints. No, the Karl Malone joints wasn't bad.
Nah, the ones that used to light up.
Oh shit!
Almost every girl had the ones that used to light up.
You gotta relax, though. You gotta relax. Chuck, what we doing, dog?
I had a spectacular story that me and Little was talking about, but I want to hear what y'all think about, right? And so there's a set of parents, and I don't want to get too weird or too deep in the story, but there's a set of parents who had a 13-year-old daughter. The parents eventually ended up separating, and as the daughter got older, she was like, "Yo, I want to go stay with dad." The dad and the mother sat down with the daughter. She made this declaration, and their dad was like, "Yo, cool. I promise you, like it's a done deal. Whenever you get to high school, you come stay with me." Mother was like, "Yeah, that works. That's cool. I'm totally fine for that. Whatever." Salute to the mother being amenable to that too, right? So then, throughout the next couple of years, as the child goes through middle school, is gearing up, goes towards high school, the father ends up landing a new girlfriend, and eventually a wife. He makes her a wife, right? High school comes. The 13-year-old daughter was like, "Yes, now it's that time. Daddy, I want to come live with you. We already talked about this. You agreed about it when I was in 5th grade. I'm coming." Dude talks about it with his now new wife, and his now new wife was like, I don't know about that. He goes back to his daughter and her mother and says, "Yo,
you didn't have to finish." Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you finish.
After further review, you coming to stay with me is not going to be an option that we can fulfill. Of course, the daughter is beyond disgusted at this point, right? The mother now, so the mother was like, "Okay, 13-year-old daughter, go in the room. Let me talk to daddy real quick. Let me figure out what's going on," right? The mother's like, "Yo, what the fuck is going on? We talked about this. Like, you agreed. It was a done deal. What happened, right? Like, you got her hopes up." Like, he was like, "Yeah, my wife, my wife doesn't like you. And hence, the daughter is a reflection of you in her eyes. And she doesn't feel comfortable with her in my household because she doesn't want the daughter going back and telling you things that's happening in my house and blah, 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 X, Y, Z. Spectacular story, right?
That's beyond spectacular.
What kind of shit is that?
Yeah.
And so, listen, I want to say, off top, the father's the villain here for not putting his foot down and saying, "Yo, shut the fuck up, my daughter's coming." And really, before we got married, you knew my daughter was coming. Like, you guys have talking about this,
Yeah.
right? You know what I mean? Like, this ain't brand new information. That's what should have happened here, right? Like, if we were going to be married, you should have known how important this was, that it was coming, and you should have been on board with this.
So is the father more the villain than the new stepmother?
No.
Yeah, he is.
Well, yeah, he is.
It was seem like it.
Yeah.
I mean,
if he let her dictate, how his own daughter is gonna move, then absolutely. And because of a super duper childish reason of not liking her mom, which has nothing to do with you and that relationship at all, like that's not even a, you know what I mean? Like that's grounds for dismissal in my eyes, because this is my flesh and blood, and if this is something that we talked about and I told you, and whatever the case may be, like, you know what I'm saying, and it's my place, you know what I'm saying, like all things are in my favor.
Let's slow down a little bit.
Yep.
You gotta slow down because
I said if, because I don't know if
no.
Part,
even if it was your place, it's no longer your place because now you're married.
Nah, fuck that.
And did you say they had kids?
No, nope.
I don't remember if they had kids in the story.
He didn't say they had kids. He didn't say that.
Because I was about to say if they got kids, that's now her house, no matter what.
I don't listen, but
either way, I'm gone. Like,
I'm
I'm gone. It can't go down. Like, hell no.
You know, it's interesting here because I wonder what could have been done to save the daughter's feelings, right? Could the mother?
Nothing, bro.
I don't think anything.
Nothing.
We understand that the father's an asshole. We understand that. That's obvious in the story.
Well, I'm not sure if it's an asshole. I'd probably go more back to Sparring Minds episode 108. Simp shit. Plug right there. If you haven't saw it, go check it out. Dope episode last week.
You are great at this. By the way,
that's some simp shit right there. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not putting your foot down as a man for your household, head of household. That's something else we talked about previous season, Sparring Minds. But yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. Come on. I think that the father's absolutely the villain for not putting his foot down and stepping it up, and the new stepmom is, you know what I mean, for even trying to say your daughter can't live there, and even trying to project something from your ex-girl onto a child is beyond a 14-year-old child. That's beyond wild, dog. Like that's not even. There's nothing even to talk about.
Like when they first had that conversation, and he told her that she was coming, she should have set her nose then.
Fuck her nose.
Huh?
Fuck her nose. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but still, I mean.
Well, if
I get it.
Sammy saying like, if she's gonna object to it. But either way, whether it was previous or after the marriage, fuck you.
Yeah.
Well, but I think where Sammy should have gone with that statement is that had you said those no's in the beginning, that could have led to some discussion. You know what I mean? And then once we get to the root of the issue, right? Well, what's the problem with what's the cause of your no? Oh, well, your baby mother did this. So we treat my child this way because of the way that you feel about. Now we can have the discussion. I can set the ground rules for everything. Listen, cut that shit out, right?
Yeah.
Baby mother, if you're treating her in a way that's unsavory, you cut that shit out.
Right.
We're all here, I would hope, for the betterment of the 13-year-old child, right? Now, if we can't get that kind of program, then I don't know what we're doing here. I can't be with you, right? But that's the time to have that discussion in the very beginning.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying a little. As far as that, at least iron that out in the beginning, have the
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
To get to a root of it. But again, the minute you start talking your daughter can't stay here, that one, once like I hear those words, and even once I hear like the tad bit of reasoning as to why, like, fuck, you say that at the beginning, but then you're gonna say it's because of something with your kid's mom. I'm like,
deal breaker.
Well, I'm just like, I'm married to you. You're my girlfriend. I'm married to you. You're my wife now, right? What does she have to do with anything that's going on? I still have to be a father.
If she's not disrespecting you, and even if she is, that has nothing to do with my child. And when you're with someone, when you're committed to someone, their child is an extension of them. If you can't accept their kid, you can't accept them. Like, y'all it's never gonna work. And I've been telling people that there's people that hate, or not hate, but dislike their significant others' kids or their family. And I stand on that. If you marry someone, you marry their family. If you can't get along with their kids, it's never gonna work.
Ever. Yeah.
But Payne, let me chase that with this, because we all know that there are some cases where a child is disrespectful, a child is maybe troublesome, a child is actually causing the step parent to feel some kind of way. This situation is not that, but there are cases where this child is actually going through, maybe even to the point of stealing shit out the house.
For sure.
So there are cases where it's like, yo, while your feelings are justified, and I can understand that, I'm still the child's parent. Regardless of whatever troubles they're going through. And so I have to help them navigate that. But then it's also my job to say, let me also help my new girl navigate how she's dealing with this. Because she's in an awkward spot now. She's like, yo, like, I just want to be with my man. But I feel threatened in a way. I feel like this.
Get the fuck out of here.
And that's fair too. You have to acknowledge that.
Well, so it's only fair to me if he is showing or giving off those vibes like there's something potentially with his being, like he still be tapping that or something. Like if you're giving off those kind of vibes, that's a little different. You know what I'm saying? But if it's just co-parenting, I go pick my kid up, drop my kid off, whatever the case may be. We speak, hello, hey, how you doing? You got to be cordial. I mean, in most cases, with your kids' moms or whatever the case may be. So, I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Because again, like what she said, what if she finds a husband? You know what I'm saying? Am I supposed to say like this dude can't be around my kid? No, I want to meet you to make sure I know who the guy is that's going to be around my kid. But at the end of the day, as long as you ain't harming her, putting your hands on her, doing nothing like that, she got to have a life too. So, you know, it is what it is, just like I do. You know what I'm saying? But the kids are always going to be there. Like that's, your kids are always going to be there. There's just no way around that part. You know what I'm saying? Like, it, you know, it's just what it is what it is. It's just, you know, it's the same way. You'd want someone to treat you the same way that, you know what I mean? Like that, this is crazy.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough because when Chuck told me the story earlier, I kind of leaned and I was like, the father's in a tough spot. After a while, I was like, you know what? Yeah, he is a villain. He is a villain. Because at first, I didn't think he was a villain in this. You know, I thought it was more the the new mom and whatnot. But nah.
Well, yeah, he's only a villain for not putting his foot down for what's going on in his household.
Mm-hmm.
That's where his problem It just, in my opinion, is, you know what I'm saying. But then again, it's like, yeah, it's just gonna be bad either. Because even if he puts his foot down, no, my daughter's coming here, it's going to be a problem between him and his wife. If she really feels a way like that, it's still going to be a problem. Which it's going to have a problem with the relationship. You know what I'm saying?
And the wife is absolutely going to have a problem with the daughter while she's in his care,
right?
Or in her care, like
right.
The daughter's not going to be
because she's not asking to be watching this kid. This is not her kid.
It's going to lead to problems.
Mm-hmm.
And even if it doesn't lead to problems, it's damn sure going to lead to neglect. That's 100%. We know that.
Yeah.
Emotional neglect for sure is going to lead to.
Right.
I guess the thing I was trying to wrap my head around was, okay, so the daughter has now gotten this news, right? Was a better solution for the dude to go to his baby moms and say, hey, listen, this is what's happening. Tell our daughter you want her to stay with you.
No, that's even worse because she's had her heart set on living with dad.
Right.
So now it makes it look like mom is keeping her. Now mom becomes the villain. In her eyes, mom is the villain when she's really not the villain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's that's not good. And at least if you would ever do that in a scenario, the father should at least have the balls enough to go talk to have that conversation with his daughter and just
he has to.
You can't sugarcoat everything from your children. You know what I'm saying? As much as we want to as parents, we can't sugarcoat. We gotta just sometimes give them shit straight and tell them straight. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of those cases where he should be the one talking to her, saying X, Y, and Z, and you know what I mean? Like the mom shouldn't have to, because he's the one that made the promise. He's the one that said, when you X, Y, and Z age, you're gonna come live with me. This is what we talked about. Blah blah blah. Mom, oh, that's great. All she did was sign off on it. It was really the dad making that extension. You know what I'm saying? Like he can't do that. He gotta tell her so.
Now he's gone from simp to pussy to not being
straight up. Like,
can we say that on air?
Like George W. Bush, dog. Are you kidding me? Like,
wait a minute. I think I might disagree with you a little bit
on being a pussy.
Because isn't his number one job to protect his daughter's feelings? It's a number one job, right?
It's both of their number one job. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not how life works, though, bro. That's like saying that if your daughter gets involved in a relationship, like if she gets her feelings hurt, like like you can't be there to stop something like that. Like that's gonna happen. So I mean, protecting her feelings. I don't know. I think he should be the one to tell her that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, because you can't always protect your kids' feelings, even if those are your intentions. You know they're going to go through things in life where they're going to get their feelings. They're going to get their feelings hurt without you, and they'll come and talk to you about it, and you can give them some guidance, game, whatever the case may be. Talk to them about it, but we can't protect them at all costs. We can't protect them all the time.
And it's going to hurt their feelings more if they find out later on down the line that you kind of like tried to hide it or brush it under the rug or make the moms out to
be the villain. Yeah, turn the story on her. I don't know. This
because after a while, mom's gonna crack and be like, "Listen, I'm not the villain here. This is really what the story is."
Right.
Like, because she's gonna get tired of being the person that little one's always beating on, over that whole situation.
That's tough. That's a good one, Chuck. That's a really that's a
tough situation.
That's a tough one, but
it's tough. It's tough. And I tell y'all all the time, like, y'all know my beliefs that for a married man, his number one priority should be his wife. I tell y'all that all the time, right?
Yeah.
I know y'all disagree with that.
No, not all the time. It depends on.
But in a case like this, you know what I mean? Like, if your wife's your number one priority, there's no way around you being an asshole in the story. Your daughter's gonna hate you forever, right? Yeah. So I just don't know how you win with the guidance I've been giving on that kind of topic. That's all.
Well, your daughter's not going to hate you forever. She's going to be mad at you for a little while because of the simple fact that, I mean, if you're a good father, if you was a good father, she knows that. She's just going to be a little bit upset that she's not able to make that leap over to your house now, but she'll get over that in time. And you, as pops, you definitely got to make it up to her. You got to do something.
Yeah, that can somewhat cause a strain in the relationship, though.
Gonna feel betrayed. Like,
Yeah, that can definitely down the line, whatever the case may be, that can cause a strain in that relationship.
She's still kind of, I mean, because how old is this kid? She's still young.
14, I think he said.
High school.
Yeah.
That's 14, bro. Like that ain't that. I mean, that's listen. They know what time it is. Just saying.
They do know what time it is, you know, and you know, as they get a little bit older, they start to understand why certain things, and she'll eventually understand that, you know, and the young one, she should know if she has a good relationship with the stepmom, anyways.
Yeah.
She's probably already seen certain things.
Right.
She may not like the stepmom ever, but she'll get over with the pops. I mean, you know, she, like I said, she'll be mad for a little while, but I don't think.
Yeah, but
it'll get too crazy like that.
Here's the thing that you were getting ready to intimate as well is, okay, yeah, like, okay, so she's not going to come live with dad in high school. She's still going to go by on the weekends to visit.
Yeah.
What are those visits like? What's the energy like in the house when those visits happen?
It's not gonna
Will
be
she
good.
want to visit after that? She might
Will
not.
she-
She might
right,
be alienated.
Right.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure she's been visiting. I mean, up until then.
Yeah, but once you have that conversation, like, she's gonna feel alienated. She's not gonna feel comfortable.
Absolutely.
Nah, she probably won't.
If she didn't know the lady's true feelings at the time,
And
then
that's
if
why
she didn't know, but then she finds out, like, absolutely, a teenager, preteen. Well, no, she's past that. She's not gonna want to come by the crib.
She might not.
She's not gonna want to come by the crib knowing that the person that her dad dates does not want her there. And then depending on how your daughter is, she's gonna put you.
But I'm pretty sure she's done seen hints of this over the years. Kids are not dumb. Kids are not dumb.
Listen. Now we're moving the goalposts now, though. Are we sticking to the script? Are we sticking to the script? Are we moving the goalposts? Because it sounds like we're moving the goalposts.
I'm not sure if it's moving the goalposts because
we're moving the goalposts. Now we're adding stuff. What Hustle told us as far as the story, all the things that y'all are saying now didn't come into play. Or we didn't know anything about.
But I'm not sure. Now. But he never mentioned whether or not that the mother and child, well, the stepmother and child had any issues. He never mentioned that. We don't know that. That's the unknown.
Okay. Yeah, it's not mentioned in the question.
Right. So again, that's why I said we're moving the goalposts, because we're adding things onto it. But we don't know that though.
I think it's a valid addition, don't you?
Now,
I
mean, we got Bush energy didn't come out of nowhere.
We got Bush McBill arms reaching for this one, fellas.
But for real, like Chuck said, it's not like this just came out of nowhere.
Then that means this would have came up. That means that we would have had this conversation before.
Maybe, but it didn't happen.
However you felt before, we supposed. But again, you guys are putting additional shit into the story now, moving the goalposts.
I think it's a valid addition to the story because you have to account for how we got here, and this is the only way for us to get to this point. How else we have gotten to this point?
But the problem is that the wife has an issue with the daughter based on the mother.
So
if the daughter was coming over on the weekends, right, and the mom had, she had a beef with her, you would have known already. You would have already known because who is the mom bringing her there? Is the dad just going to pick up and bring her there? Like, that's what I'm saying, fellas. We could add on a bunch of stuff to this to kind of fluff it out a little bit. But I'm just going by what Capo said in particular and sticking to that point right there. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what the root of her problem is or why she don't like the mom. Like, again, was the dad doing some shit to show like he's still piping her down? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know. But just not like a kid, a 14-year-old kid based on her mother is dumb unless they've had a prior issue. And it's still even dumb because the child has nothing to do with that.
So is a
between two
solution.
adults.
So is a solution to have all four of y'all sit down and hash it out. So like it doesn't look like you're choosing.
But do you put a kid in that spot?
Yeah.
I mean,
Do you
she
put a
needs
kid in that sit down situation?
You're putting the kid in the spot already because she
Right,
knows
the
that
kid-
someone don't want her
the
there.
kid needs to hear why. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're basically putting your wife on the spot. Like, yo, you're the one acting like you're a teenager. Like you're taking this out on my daughter because of her mother. Let's all sit down together and let my daughter hear what the problem is.
But that's probably why you can't have that discussion, right? Pain is because the worst thing you could ever do with women is to sit a group of people down at a table and paint that one individual as the villain of the story.
Yeah.
That
Well,
woman will turn up.
You're not
That's the
painting
last thing you want to do.
You're not painting
Well,
the
yeah.
daughter
Well,
picture
You're
for
telling the
education.
truth. You're not painting them
Maybe
as a
so,
villain.
but
You're
that's
telling
your
the
wife.
truth,
And now you
bro.
got your wife there
Yeah.
defending herself against you, your ex, and your child. That's crazy. You
It's
can't
not
put your
against
wife in
me.
that position.
It's not against me. We need to know. My daughter needs to know what the problem is.
she needs to know, but
and
I
if
don't
it's a-
think she needs
if
to be
it's a
sitting in that room when all three of y'all are discussing
If
that.
it's a if
I
it's a
think the
legit
parents are
reason,
supposed to sit down later on after y'all have that conversation.
if it's a legit reason, then the daughter won't have any reason to be like looking funny. Like if the mother's disrespecting her, then it comes out. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Look,
oh,
look.
saying
Come
fuck
on,
her,
come
calling her.
on.
Then like now the daughter knows, like, okay, they just don't like each other. But if it's something like, oh, I don't like her because she used to talk to someone I used to talk to back in the day, like the daughter be like, that's fucking stupid. You know what I mean? Like you don't paint the picture yourself. Like you're getting all the information and letting the daughter figure it out for herself.
I mean, I'm on the fence about her being in the room with the adults, whatever the case may be. I ain't whatever,
Yeah.
but she should absolutely know what's going on, though. Like the problem is that sometimes we think sugarcoating shit from our kids is gonna be good from them, and it's not. It's
You're
not
right.
always
You're
gonna
right.
be good for them. Sugarcoating shit from them. Sometimes you have to tell them like what's going on and explain to them in grave detail what's going
Yeah,
on.
I can kind of see it right now.
You can't
I can
sugarcoat
kind of
shit.
see it right now. The ex-wife is like, I don't want your child to come over here because of the simple fact that, I have an issue with her mother because her mother's been sending news to such and such to your dad, and
That's you see, but well, now you're creating a scenario. Of course, that's a viable reason. But again, that's an issue with the dad, not the daughter.
Yeah, but that's not something the daughter should be hearing.
Okay, again, but I'm just saying, no, I'm with you. I'm not.
I know. Yeah, I know you agreed with me about her not being in the room when they had that conversation.
Yeah, I'm not.
But I just feel like she shouldn't be in the room when they had that conversation because something crazy like that could pop off. But I think the mom and dad, after they had that conversation with the ex-wife, with the wife, they sit down with the child and they may have to sugarcoat whatever the issue is because they don't want to tell that part. But they may have to sugarcoat, whatever that issue is for the daughter. Because everything a kid can't, shouldn't be, aware of.
Some shit you can't sugarcoat though. Some shit there's just no around sugarcoating it.
Yeah, it's no way. Like, because if they don't see it from you, they're gonna see it somewhere else out there. And I'd rather my kids see shit or hear shit from me versus hearing stuff out in the streets. Because I feel like I'm gonna give it to them a little bit better, or tell it to them a little bit better than they're gonna get it from out in the streets because they could be misinformed.
Yeah.
Wow, this topic was good. We're almost an hour in. This was good. This was a really good one, Jones.
There's a time and a place for educating kids on adult topics.
Yeah.
I think as it's happening in real time is not the best time to educate the kid because there are also emotions that are involved in that.
A lot of emotions. I can see that place going on fire in that little meeting.
100%.
There might even be some fist swung.
100%, the daughter gonna end up crying at some point in that conversation. 100%, the baby mother gonna be pissed off because her daughter is crying in that conversation. 100%, the wife is going to feel attacked by everybody at that table. 100% husband.
Daddy's not getting no ass tonight.
Everybody at that table is going to have an emotional moment at one time, and
For
it's
sure.
awful. It's not going to turn out well.
Yeah.
But again, the child is gonna have an emotional moment when she gets the news that she can't come to her dad's house and stay there like they had planned a few years ago. Like that's a bigger issue that you got to deal with as far as being a father. You got to explain that to your daughter, like why this isn't happening or whatever the case may be. Or
well,
like,
you just gonna have to man up and explain it.
And she wants to know why, because kids will say, "Well, why?" And you gonna lie to your kid and tell you what you gonna do? Lie to your kid? I don't like lying to my kid. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like as much as I can avoid, telling her the straight up truth. Like I don't, but if I have to, I just do. It's like you can't run from it. So
Gentlemen.
And now it's time for a letter from Pain.
So yeah, we were talking about flights earlier, right? So
good call,
we all know.
good call, Jones.
We all know I went to Atlanta last week, right?
Hey, I heard they said some guy from Boston was down there causing a tsunami. I mean, tsunami, not a wave, a tsunami.
So you was down there with James Harden?
I ain't no type of money with James Harden. He be going crazy. But so I went to Atlanta, right? And I caught the early flight back. Yo. Most aggravating trip home ever, yo. So, let me see. Dear TSA, get your shit together. TSA, in my opinion, stands for this shit is absurd. This shit is ass. Like, yo, I was in line for 2 hours. 2 fucking hours in the morning because they didn't have enough people, and then some kind of violation happened. Someone probably had too much water in their backpack or some shit. 2 hours, dog, which caused our flight to be late, which caused me to be running through the airport like OJ because my dumbass did a layover for the first time ever. Never again. So, TSA, get y'all shit together, man. Sign management.
A layover to Atlanta, Payne?
Yeah, so like all the straight
wild.
flights were like $400 more. So I was like, all right, let me do a layover. It's only an hour and a half.
Hey, Jermaine, this guy got a gold encrusted swimming pool in the backyard.
Yo,
He's talking about a couple $100 on the flight.
Yeah.
Besides the fact that he was working like 200 hours, a week before he went to his trip for Atlanta, and telling us, "Yo, fellas, man, I'm getting ready for this trip to Atlanta. The tsunami's coming down there. They don't know the pain's coming to Atlanta."
Talking about I need more than $5,000 to spend for the weekend.
He absolutely said that.
Yeah, 100% said that.
25 was on sneakers.
Let's hit the grand slam, fellas.
It's like looking in a mirror. Not.
It's mirror time with my man Sam Little, aka Mr. Mirror Time.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who is the tyrant of the ball? There was a rumble double. 5 minutes it lasted. The mirror said, "You are you can see the back."
Love that.
Gotta love those things. Today's mirror time. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. This goes a little bit with the talk that me and Chuck had before you got on here, where, he was kind of upset about, people that are on Section 8 that decide they want to stay there forever and ever. So some people just want to be that way, Chuck. They were destined to be that way.
Yeah, that's fitting.
Be better, man.
Definitely.
Yeah. You can be great.
It's just a temporary thing.
It's temporary.
Do we go around and let these guys kind of talk about that a little bit before we get out of here?
I'd love to.
Because
what my complaint was, Jermaine and Payne, Payne heard what I was saying, but It's the people who's on Section 8 for a lifetime. You know what I mean? And even worse, people who were on Section 8 grandfathered in by their mothers, grandfathered in by their grandmother, and they just keep passing down this housing certificate. You know what I mean? As opposed to using it as a launching pad, a saving module to try and then go ahead and do something for themselves. I was explaining to Little that the fastest way to wealth in the United States of America is through real estate.
Yeah.
If you're living your life on Section 8 vouchers, oh, I paid $200 a month, you are never going to get to generational wealth by owning your own home.
That's a fact.
That's
a
it.
fact. Yeah, that's a
And then
fact.
yet every year we hear black people complaining about, oh, the system's against us. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
There are opportunities there. Now, sure,
Absolutely.
there are still some roadblocks, right? Some of these lenders are still playing tricks out here on us in the mortgage game, which we'll be talking about in the real estate episode.
Nice.
But for the most part, you're not helping yourself by staying on Section 8 for 35 years and then saying, oh, okay, I don't want to work more than 20 hours because I can't mess up my vote. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah,
Work 20 hours, save some money, and buy your own crib.
Take advantage of that opportunity as a tool to save yourself some bread, to put yourself in a better position for yourself and your family, which is trying to get home ownership or something like that. I absolutely 110% agree with you on that. Absolutely.
And it really doesn't have to equate to you being a homeowner, because ownership isn't for some people. Some people just don't want to do the upkeep.
Yeah, they don't want that. Yeah.
But
the
a lot of people that are just staying stagnant on Section 8, they want to be able to pay that $150 or $200 a month for rent and ball out of control outside their 1-bedroom, 300 square foot apartment. Like, okay, you only pay $200 for rent, and you're driving around in a S600, and you always got on Gucci and Louis and all this, but like, you could be using that money you're using to ball out of control, live modestly, live within your means, stack some money, invest it in something else. It doesn't have to be home ownership, but Section 8 is only temporary.
Right.
Yeah.
So don't make it permanent.
Yeah, I mean, some people just don't have those aspirations to do that. It could be coming from, generational stuff where it was people older than them that kind of embedded that in them. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, sometimes that type of stuff is passed, that mindset, that mentality is passed down from generation to the next. So it's like, I mean, sometimes as a youngin, you need guidance from an OG or older person, your parents, whatever the case would be, somebody who's telling you things to aspire for too. As a youngin, you need that kind of game and guidance. And if they just had someone saying, no, motherfucker, there's $150 rent, this what you gonna do, like, that's you know what I'm saying? Like, that's all you know. You know what I mean?
So here's the problem, man. And I was telling one of us earlier, I'm like, yo, we gotta stop blaming our problems on ignorance. It's 2022. And information is everywhere. We all know what's really going on out here. If you listen to my grandmother right now, she'll still tell me to take ginger ale when I got a headache. No, grandma, that's not the answer, right? Like, everybody got these passed down answers of how things are supposed to be done. Drink Robitussin. No, I have lung disease.
Tussin. Yo,
Tussin will help.
Tussin, everything.
It takes somebody to be like, you know what? Like, there's a better way to do this. There's a real good way to do this. You know what I mean? So and listen, man, salute to the chick that got the $95 rent and she got the Gucci with the S6 coupe with the cognac seats. Salute to her, right? And she pulling up on you, judging you because you don't got an LV belt on, right? But when she dies, she don't got to leave behind but that LV belt.
Right. Like, buy a house, start a business. Like, why even work for someone else at that point? If you want to only work 20 hours, start your own business and do it that way.
That's a fact.
It's just, I want our people to be better. And there's sometimes I see that we take advantage of these systems in place and it's not helping us.
So I know a while back, me and you were speaking, you said you wanted to kind of like help people get on Section 8 or something like that. or with issues like this. So are you also gonna do like what is it, like a little,
Seminar?
like, are you also going to try to, excuse me?
A seminar?
Yeah, are you going to hold a seminar and trying to tell them this is what I'm trying to get you on this because, but I'm also trying to show you another way of doing better once once you kind of.
That's hard. That's dope stuff.
That might be something I try to do at the turn of the year.
Shit. That's
Not
dope
just
shit.
put me on the spot.
I mean, we did have the conversation. I thought you said you wanted to do that for work.
That's dope shit.
Well, yeah. So let me look at that at the turn of the year. Let me get settled here in Carolina. Let me see what I can put together.
Hey,
I do think it's important to hey man, if you need Section 8, by all means, bro. You got a 4-month-old baby. You can't get ends to meet. I was just telling Pete earlier, daycare close at 1. You can't work a full day, and I understand it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Use that system to benefit yourself, keep yourself stable. Right? Make sure your family's okay. Be able to feed you guys.
Yep.
Put a couple dollars to the side every now and again, right? So then 4 years on that Section 8, you got $8,000 in an account saved to the side. Maybe you don't have the Gucci belt. Maybe you don't have the S600. You know what I mean? The one that matches pains. You don't have that, right?
Maybe they need to have a program because I'm not sure if they do have a program where they teach people once they're on Section 8. After you're already on there, how to get accomplished, how to, kind of manage your money a little bit and how to move on, like they should be doing that.
No, that type of stuff should be a given. That financial literacy, all that type of stuff are things that should be taught in schools, even entrepreneurship, stuff like that. As a matter of fact, I just want to give a shout out to the homie Royceville because he goes around in schools and talks about entrepreneurship and stuff like that. Jones, you will be amazing at that. You know what I'm saying? Like if that's something you decide to do as far as talking to people about that, you know what I mean? You have a good presence as far as talking and stuff like that. You be on your asshole shit, your Dame Dash shit every now and then. but behind all of that bravado and Dame Dash shit, if you're just listening to the words, there's some deep shit that's coming at you that you need to take in, and it's just game for you. You know what I'm saying? So
I want us to win. So I appreciate that. I just want us to win. You know what I mean? I want us to all win. I want to see our children win. I want to see our generations win. You know what I mean? And in this country, there's one clear way to do it. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm in this industry to begin with, because there's one clear way. So we'll talk about that. We'll have more confidence as that comes along. We're in overtime, so let's get out of here, fellas. Sparring Minds 108, the great debate. We didn't even get to what we're supposed to be talking about here, honestly.
Oh my God, Roe versus Wade. Jesus Christ.
It was a great debate.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
We never even got to Roe versus Wade.
Never got to Roe versus Wade. Never.
We will do that at some point. We will.
Jesus, because
we will tell y'all why men need a voice in that conversation. We're gonna do all that. So stay tuned.
Nah, fuck out of here. Men don't need a voice in that conversation.
Fuck out of here.